Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about copyright law. Now, as a libertarian, I don't believe in copyright law. I think it's fucking bullshit and should be abolished. And today I'm going to talk about my problems and issues with copyright law and why I think it should be abolished. And one of my biggest reasons for why I dislike copyright law is it enables large corporations to be able to attack people's freedom of speech. So let me give you an example. Say somebody reviews a video game or reviews a movie or whatever, and a corporation who owns that product hears something about it they don't like. Well, they could do something like issue a copyright claim or a false strike, even if it falls under fair use, despite fair use being in place to prevent such a thing. And people will then shut down channels and go out of their way to be able to silence people. And I think that is complete bullshit. Now, I know a lot of people talk about fair use, and there was the whole hashtag where's the fair use movement. Well, here's my thing. How much issue would there have been with the whole hashtag where's the fair use if copyright law wasn't there in the first place to enable these corporations to even do this in the first place? It's a detriment to freedom of speech and people who have a job reviewing and critiquing things. Now, my other problem I have with copyright law is how it stifles creativity. It allows corporations to hold monopolies on products, franchises, whatever. And I think that is absolute horseshit. And people like to complain about how much, oh, we hate monopolies, we hate this, we hate that. Well, guess what? Under corporatism, that's going to happen. When you have copyright law and patents, people can buy out whatever product or company they want and hold a monopoly on it. Now, you answer me this question. When Disney is going out and buying out half the fucking film industry, how much of the film industry would Disney even own if copyright law didn't exist? Really think about that. And that's what I hate. Just because some stupid piece of paper says that this product belongs to this company, that means another company or another person can't come along and make something of that very same product or franchise and possibly even improve upon it. Now, the argument for this is always, well, the poor creators, they're gonna get stolen from. That's so unfair to the creators. Okay, let me tell you something. How many creators on YouTube every day get screwed over just because people incorporate fair use? How many channels get unfairly struck and attacked and even shut down because corporations don't like what they have to say or they are greedy? And they care so much about money, they can't even understand that these people talking about their product or making parodies of their product is actually good for them. And I don't believe that any company, no matter how fucking rich they are, should be able to go around and start buying the rights to entire products, to entire franchises. There should be free market. Anybody should be able to create a product and sell it to the masses. And this idea that just because somebody creates this product, that some fucking company has a piece of paper that says, well, it belongs to us, is theft, is completely fucking nonsensical. And here's the thing. Just because other people are creating the exact same product or different variations of that same product, it's not theft. How many different variations are there of comics, cartoons, made by other people? Do you sit there and say that, oh no, these people are being stolen from? No. In fact, in some ways, it can lead to these products being improved. But no. these greedy ass corporations would rather go around buying out all the big name franchises. Disney is the biggest fucking example of this, and it makes me sick. Disney basically owns half the fucking film industry at this point, and it's complete fucking bullshit. They are stifling creativity because now every time they buy a big franchise like Star Wars, or they buy out Fox and the rights to whatever Fox has the rights to, it then is decided that only Disney is able to create things of that product, and anyone else who might have an idea for a Star Wars movie or whatever can't sell that product or can't bring that idea to life because copyright law will prevent them and they will be viewed as thieves. That is complete and utter bullshit. And this just goes back to what I mentioned before. When you have copyright law, when you have patents, it enables these corporations to even be able to hold these large monopolies. And I don't think that's the way things should be. It chokes out competition, it stifles creativity. And even then, the whole concept is completely ludicrous. So let me get this straight. So just because Disney has a piece of paper that George Lucas signed, he's no longer in ownership of Star Wars. So if George Lucas was to try to come back and decide he wanted to make a Star Wars movie, Disney could sue him? How the fuck does that work? He created Star Wars, so even then, just because some big company can go around and buy you out, that means that product no longer belongs to you. That shouldn't be how this is. And to say otherwise, well, it protects the content creators. No, it doesn't. It only protects content creators that have large amounts of money and mainstream corporate support. Now, you think that people like Logan Paul would be able to do any of the things that they did if YouTube wasn't the shadowy corporation that they were? No, of course not. Now, sure, that's probably not the best example, but it's an example of what people can get away with just because some large corporation likes them or prefers them. And again, all this does is it'll enable a large corporation to keep buying out everything until only one corporation like Disney owns everything, and then nobody is allowed to produce any more products or any more franchises. I firmly believe that if someone has an idea for something, they should have the freedom to be able to create it or improve upon something without some numbnuts in a suit showing up and handing them a cease and desist just because some bigger corporation doesn't like it. And it's just complete bullshit that this is the world we live in. And again, it's funny because you will always have these people that will complain about how much they hate that these corporations can go around and buy out whoever they want, or how content creators hate getting struck with unfair copyright claims and getting videos taken down, like me. I put up a video discussing the top 10 best anime openings, and the video is now removed for a false copyright strike. Even though the video is completely fair use, thus, what is the point of fair use if fair use doesn't stop people from being unfairly struck by copyright laws anyway? And guess what? Fair use will continue to be useless because at the end of the day, what it all comes down to is the nature of corporatism. These corporations can lobby the government to rewrite the laws and regulations in any way they like so it favors them and pushes out competition. So, fair use law isn't going to be able to protect people from much if corporations can just find a way around it anyway. And if you ask me, both should just be abolished because they're both basically useless. And at the end of the day, no matter how much a company fails or pisses people off, like EA does, they'll be able to hold the rights and monopoly to whatever franchise they want, even if the company fails and people hate them, because mommy government will be there to bail them out. And that's not how it should be. This is why copyright law and patents need to be abolished. It's just another thing that allows corporatism to exist, and it allows monopolies to spread all over the country. And it's completely unfair. It should be free market. People should be able to make and sell whatever product they want, regardless of what some piece of paper says. And you know what? Any creator that's afraid of their character being taken or whatever, here's what it all comes down to. Due to the nature of capitalism, it comes down to making a product, good, or service that people want at a price and quality better than that of your opponent. So rather than enabling these corporations just go around, buy whatever they want, and make people pay whatever the hell they want for it, that's not how it should be. Corporations shouldn't be able to go out and buy whatever they want and sit there and say, oh, well, you're going to pay this for it. You're going to pay this for it. No. The people should be able to sell a product of their choosing or buy a product at a good price and better quality than the competitor. How many companies get destroyed by copyright law? How many franchises get ruined just because some big company comes along and either buys their company and buys their franchise and then just destroys it? Now, these creators who put a lot of time and effort into this product are now screwed because this company has run them into the ground. A perfect example of that is the Ultima franchise. The Ultima franchise was one of the biggest, most successful RPG franchises during the 80s and 90s. And when EA came along and bought the company, they destroyed the franchise within 2 games, forcing ridiculous deadlines, pushing the team to work on what they want them to work on rather than working on the actual franchise itself. And it led to poor management issues, people leaving the company, and now Ultima is now a dead franchise with a lot of pissed off fans. And all this because of copyright law. So if you honestly believe that copyright law protects creators, you are dead wrong. There are so many creators out there that get their franchises and livelihoods fucked because of copyright law, because of big corporations buying out whatever they want. And if you truly believe that copyright law is a good, necessary thing, you are likely some fool who listens to whatever you believe that, oh, the government put copyright law out there to protect the poor little content creators, so it's necessary, or you're likely some corporate fuck that goes around buying whatever the fuck you want and doing as you please with it in complete disregard as to what the people want and pay money for. So copyright law needs to be abolished. Patents need to be abolished. And I will argue this till the day I die. And you know what? If you think otherwise, please go ahead, go to my comment section, make a response video. I would love to hear your response for why you think that copyright law is necessary or even a good thing. Because the way I see it, it does more harm than good. And it needs to go.